Hey guys, Opting here and with our friend Lynx.
Hey guys, how are you?
And
Today, William, I think we're reviewing Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
we
Not Captain.
are. Oh,
Sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
no, it's Captain
Sorry.
America and Winter Soldier. Okay, that's
That hasn't
basically what it is.
that hasn't come out yet. This is a spoiler review, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So you have been warned. We will be spoiling all the secrets of the show.
It's funny because right before this, you said, I always mess this up because it's such a long intro, and then I mess it up.
Yeah. Then okay,
um,
so the name is very much clunky. It's a very clunky name, and the Falcon is such a weird way to start the title too. It just doesn't fit.
I mean, but the Winter Soldier and Falcon would not be. I
Any
feel like
better.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier sounds better than Winter Soldier and Falcon. The
True,
Winter
but you know
Soldier.
what sounds even better?
Captain
America
America.
and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I just got a grade for my research paper. Ooh,
Awesome.
yeah, 92. That's what's up. Anyways,
Dang, William, big brain.
big brain. But, like you said, the name was just really weird. But, let's start off with talking about our overall rating of,
Rating out of 10?
yep, out of 10.
Alright, well, you go first.
So, I'm gonna have mine at an 8 out of 10.
An 8, okay. I'm gonna have to say a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I didn't like the relationship between, Bucky and Falcon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that part is definitely lacking. But I think
They felt like they
it's still
acted
good
like so
though.
much happened in such a little amount of time. You know what I mean? I keep saying you know what I mean.
Well,
Sorry.
it's because it was only 6 episodes. You know.
Yeah, but there was no character development between the two really. Besides the part where they stared into each other's eyes.
I mean, if I were to compare this to WandaVision, I think WandaVision's a better show.
I would agree. I would watch WandaVision before I would watch this.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd watch the first episode of WandaVision again though.
Stop.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Stop.
Hmm.
Stop. Isn't that what the lady says?
Oh, I was so confused. I was
I was
like,
making a joke and you were
talking?
just like,
I thought you were talking to your dog or something. I was like, what is this? I was like, is your dog bothering you?
no.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
Um,
so definitely, I think the better. It started out stronger, in my opinion, and then kind of lost its momentum in the later half.
well, I would just say this about all the Disney shows. They start out really slow
Hmm.
and really pick up in the middle.
Yeah, the middle is definitely the best of.
We talked about this with Mandalorian, season 1 and 2. The second episode was terrible in both seasons with the frog lady or whatever
Yeah.
in the second season. So let's just go over I went over a low, or one of my
Which
lows.
was the relationship of the Falcon and Winter
Bucky,
Soldier.
yeah.
I
What?
definitely and a positive coming from the series, or I think they really did well with adding characters.
Agreed.
So like you have Zemo, you have U.S. Agent,
U.S. Agent John Walker.
yeah, John Walker.
He was probably my favorite part of the show, just because Captain America. It's so weird to think about this, just because it's Captain America is at peak human condition, right? But can throw people 20 feet. You know
hmm
what I mean? So it's he does have superpowers beyond peak human condition, but
I have
I
to
feel like
say
John
though,
Walker is a character that many people could relate to, not that everybody has the urge to kill someone, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But just he is just an average guy that
No, he's a war hero. He had 3 medals of honor, man. He's led multiple special forces.
well, yeah, he's not an average guy, but at the same time, he is an
Well, yeah,
average
I
guy.
think he
You know what I
fits the
mean?
role of like a almost like a stand-in for the audience in certain points.
Yeah, because like even though he does have this insane military history and he's beyond or off the charts on every test, he's still his emotional um, circumstance is still similar to a regular human's, if that makes sense. Also, did you know? I think this is true. You know Kurt Russell?
Yeah,
I think that's his son,
yeah, it is.
the actor that plays him.
It is. Yeah.
That's insane. My friend told me that, and I looked at it, and I was like, "What the heck?
Yeah,
that makes so much sense."
Yeah, he definitely. I know people were making fun of him like when he's wearing the Captain America like helmet, but
Yeah, with the guy from Up.
yeah, because it's just yeah. I mean, it's funny, but I think his outfit looks pretty cool too, actually. But I have to say though, the show really makes like you really feel the loss of Captain America in the show. Like you feel it. Like
I agree.
you're always like imagining like, oh, if Steve, like they mentioned Steve a lot in the show. And how
I
it's
agree,
such a
but I
big
don't
deal
think
thing.
they did it as well as the Iron Man trope. You know what I mean? From Spider-Man
Yeah, I mean
Far
they
From
didn't do
Home.
it as good as that. I would agree.
Because like Iron Man was just like you really felt like you were missing a piece of the universe and not trying to replace it. You know what I mean? But this, I just felt like they were trying to push away that part and replace it with a new, which was they were trying to do that, but it didn't feel as right, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be like comparable to like if instead of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Far From Home dealing with the loss of Iron Man, it would be like him trying to replace Iron Man,
Yes.
which would be a no-no. So,
Um, so before we get into the episodes, because usually we break down the episodes, I have to talk about the symbolism within the show,
ooh,
just briefly. So one piece of symbolism I thought they did really well was with John Walker, just because I'm a huge John Walker fan. The idea of once you come back from the military, or you're an honored veteran, what is it called? Once veterans showed any sign of like mental, like once their mental state collapses or they show
Yeah.
signs of PTSD, society kind of forgets about them and just leaves them because he was like, "You guys made me. You guys made
I
me
think that
who
was
I
like a
am."
powerful moment. I think did the
Yeah.
court scene.
I thought that was really impactful because I know I'm not the best with like I don't know everything that's going on, but like I do see that stigma with certain veterans, like PTSD is frowned upon most of the time, you know, because it's a sign of weakness. And even like I remember watching a video where like old veterans talk to new veterans, like people were just roasting the young veteran for having PTSD, even though, you know, it's just hard to go through that amount of stuff. And I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people will realize that. I myself don't even realize that. I can't say I do. And I thought that was done very well. Another piece of symbolism is, of course, the race idea, which I don't think was done as well because there were some cringy moments in there where like
There was some like woke cringe in there.
like where they were like, "Oh, is this guy bothering you?" when it was nothing. That would
Yeah.
that would probably never happen in real life. You know what I mean?
Well,
If it was
yeah.
more realistic, like what was his name, Isaiah Bradley, that makes sense why he doesn't.
Yeah, I like Isaiah Bradley as a character, and I completely understand why he's jaded and why he feels the way he does. I didn't have a problem with anything he was saying because I understood why he was saying it.
Yeah, and also I don't like that they played on the fact. I just don't like this idea. It may just be me. I thought it would be better if Sam gave up the Shield because he wasn't worthy to be as good as Steve, because Steve is this amazing human being. He does fight for whatever he stands for, he stands for him like a tree, like in Civil War, right? But they played on the trope that, oh, I didn't know if there could be a black Captain America, and he said that to Bucky in like one of the episodes. And I was like, no, dude, you should have played on the fact that you didn't know if you could live up to Steve. Because
that's what I thought it was, but then...
Yeah, they changed it halfway through, which I was kind of like, that's a little weird. Which I don't like when people flip-flop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there wasn't really like there was no... Like, I mean, I'm not using the right word, but there's like no foreshadowing or like... there was nothing set in place to build upon this race thing, really. Besides the one scene with the police officers talking to Sam and Bucky, right? That's the only thing that involved race really at all in like the first half of the show, and then they just switched the motive.
I mean, but I understand the whole idea because you did bring Isaiah in, and that did bring on like a whole fact of like, well, America was like this, like America hated the idea, which it still can be at sometimes, right? Yeah. But they hated the idea of having someone who was African American, Dominican, or someone like that have that position, so they covered it up and just used that to gain new super soldier serum. I like that idea. So they did have to kind of pick it up with that. But the symbolism in the show was amazing, in my opinion. Just, oh my gosh, how did I even forget this? Like, the stain of honor, the blood on the shield.
Oh yeah, I think everyone felt like, oh, you just disgraced, like, the whole idea of Captain America and the shield.
Well, you can look at it multiple ways. Like, you can look at it with the idea of like you just like ruined what it means, the shield means, or you could look at it like maybe different times need different measures, right? Which I don't totally agree with. It's just up to interpretation, which I like, which I think is, not everything needs to be left to interpretation, but it's also good to let people like kind of make the show what they want the show to be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like John Walker was a character where I made him who I wanted him to be, He could be a good guy in my mind, or he could be a bad guy, whatever I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a
no.
rant.
That was
not a rant, just kind of I was excited to talk about that.
I think that was good.
Okay, so now we're going to go over the episodes.
Yep. So, the first episode, New World Order. Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes realize that their futures are anything but normal. That's a weird description for it. First episode.
I kind of like the idea of Bucky. I forgot about this whole thing. Bucky kind of
trying to atone.
Atoning for his past sins, even though that wasn't him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By trying to spend time with the person. I thought that was really interesting. The whole shield was just. This was a pretty cool episode, and because you see John Walker walk out with the shield.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when everyone, and including me, like first saw that happen. Like he first popped out with the shield. It's like, oh man, like you feel kind of disrespected, almost.
Yeah, you do, because it's like so. It's hard to see anybody else hold that shield. Even Falcon in the end, it's hard to see him hold the shield.
Yeah.
Just because Captain America, like, there's still no one like him. You can only try to be like him.
Yeah.
What else happened in this episode?
You see Sam go on like his own mission. I feel like the action scene was pretty cool with the helicopter chase.
What was his name?
Baltruck or something.
No, Badrock, the jumper.
The French dude.
Badger.
It was like Baltrock, right, or something. I have no idea.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
But that French dude, he was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yes, and I just gotta say this. I never realized this. That he's arguably one of the best UFC fighters in the world.
Yeah, he's an actual.
He was actually a UFC fighter. I didn't know that. George St. Pierre, and like he's a really awesome dude. I like watched some stuff on him, and he seems like a really awesome dude.
What's
so it's awesome
interesting
to see
about
him.
his character is, I mean, I think it's kind of like more than just like the first episode, kind of, but his character reveals how kind of bad Falcon is at fighting. Like,
Yeah,
he's not good. Like, I remember,
but
if
in
you
all
rewatch
fairness,
the fight scene between that guy and Steve Rogers whoops him. And then,
I mean, in all fairness, he was not doing a bad job holding his own against a super soldier.
yeah, but Falcon, I mean, honestly, you see Falcon get beat up a lot.
You do, but like, you got to consider maybe this guy is probably a really good fighter. You know what I mean?
Well,
If you can fight Captain America without super soldier serum and like for a while, you're pretty good.
Like in the fight scene against Steve Rogers, it wasn't like when Captain America was like using the shield. It was like a more like prolonged fight, but then you put the shield away and just beat him up with like a few hits. So, I mean, it definitely makes Falcon look bad. The fact that he was kind of getting beat up by this one dude. But
yeah,
I mean, still, he ultimately won, so it's fine. You see,
so
you also in the first episode, that whole thing with Falcon and his sister in the boat.
okay, I don't like his sister.
I don't either.
Like that's just like she seems nice, but I feel like he should have had a family instead. You know, like maybe a girlfriend or something or a wife. I feel like that'd be more effective than.
I don't know if that'd be more effective. I feel like, I mean, like his, like you said, his sister seems like a nice lady, but like I just kind of like wasn't into the whole like.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It was like taking Tom away, honestly. He didn't.
Yeah, which is hard with these shows because it's so short. So in a normal TV show, I'd be fine, but it's you don't get to develop a lot.
One of his one of those little one of his nephews is apparently I forget who, but one of them is gonna be a superhero. Apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's supposed to become one. So I mean,
all right.
But that's about it for the first episode. I don't think anything else happened.
It got me excited for the series. I will say that.
Yeah.
Second episode.
Yep. John Walker's in Captain America, and Sam and Bucky team up against a rebel group. This is when he
is this when John Walker has the interview with
Yeah, he has the interview.
What's Battlestar's name? What the heck? He was such a good character.
It was like was it Darren?
You think it was Darren? I'm just gonna call him Battlestar.
It starts with a D. It might be Derek. No, not Derek. Daryl? No, not Daryl. What was his name?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look.
But like,
well,
you could see that John Walker is actually like a good person.
I gotta be honest. I didn't really feel Battlestar and John Walker's relationship too strong, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I feel like they could have spent more time on it, right? But also, I feel like it was good for the time they did spend on it.
I mean, I guess.
And I'll explain why in a later episode, once we get to a later episode.
Oh, never mind. It's Lamar. Nothing to do with
Lamar Jackson, right?
No, what? That's the football player. It's Lamar.
Oh,
Hoskins.
you're right. Dang.
I think. Yeah, Lamar Hoskins.
Lamar Hoskins. Yes, you're right. Or is it Hot? Yeah, you're right. Golly, I'm stupid.
So, oh yeah, this takes place in 2024.
Oh wow.
It makes sense because he was that that 5 year thing, and then this takes place like a while after. Yeah, no, so yeah, this is like 2024. I like Battlestar as a character. I feel like his and John Walker's relationship wasn't. Sorry, I'm not. He wasn't given enough time, like you were saying, to like.
But you could tell they had each other's back.
Yeah, I could tell. It just. I mean,
Was this
that's
the
why I
episode where?
understood why John Walker would eventually do what he did after something bad happens to him. It's a later episode.
Was this the episode where they tried to stop the
trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Like John Walker threw the shield so his friend would be safe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So he cared more about his friend being safe than he did like his own protection. That's what I took it as, because that's what the
He
shield
also
did.
pulled out a pistol and shot someone, so that's pretty epic.
I mean, Captain America really did kill people if you watch the original Captain America.
Well,
Like, he
yeah,
threw someone out of
Captain
it.
America kills people. He was in World War II. Yeah, he killed people.
I didn't even realize that. Like, he just killed everybody
Yeah.
in the first movie.
Well, the Avengers like to kill their enemies.
That's true.
So,
I never thought about that because it's like, you don't see, like, blood splatter everywhere, They just kind of fall.
The body's gone. No. Yes, like they all get whooped on the truck, which was kind of funny, because these 4 guys.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Flag Smashers in the first episode.
There weren't. Oh yeah, there was only the whole bank thing that happened.
How do you like the concept of the Flag Smashers as like?
On a whole, I'm not just talking about like just this episode, but like on a whole, the Flag Smashers. I understand what they were going for. They all ultimately became a terrorist organization. I think they're a good enemy to have, like for the series, or good organization.
I didn't like them.
I did not like their leader, or the
Carly was annoying.
Carly Morgenthau was an awful character. Not well written.
I agree.
Not well written.
Not at all.
Garbage. Literally nothing she said made any sense.
And everything she did contradicted everything she said.
Yeah. She was doing one thing, then she was saying one thing and doing another. It was like she's like at first, like the episode where they first they kill people, right? And they first kill people. Earlier it's like, oh, we're not, bad or this and that. But then they just straight up kill these people, who had nothing to do with anything. Really. Then
yeah.
It just a lot of her scenes get me upset because they just don't make any sense. Like I know I've talked to you about this before, but that scene, I don't remember what episode it is, but where they go to the cemetery and they talk about Captain America and they talk about the shield. I've told you this. The guy says, or maybe I told someone else this, but basically the guy says, I used to look up to Captain America, this and that at the cemetery. And she's like,
okay, I like that guy though.
Well,
that guy was awesome.
It's not about the guy. It's about the dialogue that they had together in that scene.
Yeah.
Because
hyping her up.
Yeah, he was gassing her up, hyping her up, and he said, "Oh, if you feel like I forgot what it was, but it's like he said basically, if you feel like something, is, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually about to go find this clip. Let's see here. What episode was that?
He basically said, like, you're the new Captain America.
I think it might have been episode 4.
He compared her to the new Captain America. I remember that.
Let me find this clip. Because it kind of got me upset. Okay, here we go. Are you able to hear it?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm making a mistake? Making more of us?
My grandfather, Lucas, he was a World War II resistance fighter. He always used to tell me if you're doing something and it makes you scared, it's probably because it's the right thing.
That makes no
Yeah,
sense. What is that? That makes
that's not
absolutely
always true.
no sense. If you if you if you're doing something
I
that's
mean,
scaring you, it probably is because it's the right thing. Not unless you have a
they,
conscience. Like,
I mean, that can apply to some circumstances, right?
but
But not all the time.
that is such a bad. That's such a bad sentence just to have like this character say. It doesn't make any sense. He talks about he said his grandfather was a World War II resistance fighter. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, he's about to give us something insightful. He's, but like, there's a way he could have said this without it coming off as weird.
More of us?
Cause
My grandfather, Lucas, he was a World War II resistance fighter. He always used to tell me if you're doing something.
if you're doing something and it makes you scared, just say like, oh my gosh, that's such
Yeah,
a
that
bad,
was.
it stuck with me because that makes
And
no
it makes
sense.
you scared. It's probably
It's probably because it's the right thing. No, no, it's really not. I'm sorry. It's just this line in particular really upset me. It got me really angry. I was like, this
I
makes
understand.
no sense.
So, second episode, what else happened in the second episode?
Well, the second episode.
Oh,
Well,
Bucky and Falcon won't team up with John Walker.
Yeah, they meet him, and they're like, "Oh, you suck, dude." He's like, "No."
And
Skimming through it, so
they hack Falcon's tech.
they do hack Falcon's tech. You know, they find out that they're super soldiers. They have that big fight scene. The Flag Smashers get to like a safe house, and they find out that they have like supporters all over the world. They meet Isaiah.
Okay, yeah.
They meet Isaiah, who
And
is such
everybody
a-
probably already knows this, but isn't the guy just named Elijah Bradley?
Yeah,
He's part of the frickin' what you call it. He's gonna become a superhero.
His son. Yeah.
No, his grandson, right?
His
Or is
grandson?
his son?
I have no idea. He was locked up for 30 years, so I don't know, like what. I don't know if that's his grandson or son. Probably his grandson, because of the age.
Yeah.
But the backstory they gave this man was pretty good. I gotta say, because they made. Well, no, it's not really in this episode, but like Isaiah as a character. They talk about him. He was sent after the Winter Soldier during the Korean War.
And broke his arm. That was awesome.
That's epic just to hear. Epic. So, wait, give me 1 second.
Oh, and this is a stupid scene. This has a stupid scene
What happened? Oh wait, what stupid scene?
where they're like, "Hey, is this guy bothering you?" And
Oh,
like
okay.
nothing's happening.
Yeah, this.
But it did have the funny scene where it's like, "Oh, hey, it's Black Falcon."
It's Black Falcon. Like I see why they had this scene. That's kind of stuff.
They had to have it because they had to advance the plot, but they could have done it way better. You know,
They
like
coulda done
Bucky and
this-
Falcon could have gone in a fight or something.
Yeah, then it would have made sense. Like, oh, is he like what's going on here? Like they did the. Oh, is this guy bothering you? Because it's the. I mean, like stuff like that happens where like people just get stopped for no reason, you know. But like I mean, this dude is a literal superhero. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen to him in the first place. It's very unrealistic, and you're really just like. You're really pushing the like a certain agenda, which I prefer to have it more realist than any certain agenda kind of thing. You know what I mean?
kind of, but I don't really. Like, you prefer them to stay away from an agenda? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I prefer them to not go in any political direction. Just have
I
a
mean, I
good.
understand that. I always say the argument like, these types of things are escapes for people, but also at the same time, um, comic books, okay with comic books being political as long as it's in like a fake sense, if that makes sense.
I
Like,
get
I
what
don't
you
like
mean.
it to be
I mean,
too
I wouldn't
realistic.
have much problem with this scene, and I really don't. The only problem I have with it is how unrealistic it is.
Yeah, so like in Civil War, um, I think that's a good political thing because it's not like we have superheroes in real life and we can take away their right to become superheroes or like
Yeah.
be superheroes whenever they want. So I feel like that's a really good use of that. Oh yeah, and also John Walker's like, yeah, we'll find you, and we find out about the power broker.
Yeah. Well, you find out that someone's after them. You don't know. I don't think it's like it's said the power broker yet. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think third episode when you really find out about them. But like the second episode was good too. Um, it was just like some kind of unrealistic things I would say that happened or something that just didn't fit with the story.
Oh, in this episode, I really like the scene. I really like this just in movies where they're like, so what if I did this and this and this and this and this, you know? And it happens. Like it already happened, but he's just saying, what if I did this?
Oh,
And it
you mean
shows
like? Oh yeah, the Zemo thing.
to break Zemo out. I really
Yeah.
like that just cinematically.
Hypothetically, let's say.
Or even if they don't actually do it, I just like those scenes. It's just interesting to see.
Yeah. So yeah, John Walker and them doing a bunch of raids. Yeah, Bucky visiting Zemo, who they eventually break out in a pretty, I think, epic way. And then they finally bring up that he's a Baron, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, like he's super rich.
Yeah, and then there's also the mask in the car, which was the mask.
I like how he brings up the fact that like the Avengers are not perfect because
Yeah.
of course there's like the Sokovia Accords and stuff that was already brought up.
Well, Zemo's whole thing, which I'm glad they went more into it, because honestly, I didn't really like Zemo in Civil War, and I didn't care much for him. Didn't even like focus on him at all. But thanks to this series, I understand what Zemo's all about. Where he's just against anyone having superpowers, because then they could like monopolize stuff, and they can abuse their power.
But that doesn't always make sense, you know? Because like technically he could abuse his power because he has extreme wealth, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but he's more talking about just with like superpowers, because a guy with superpowers has more power
Yes, but
than a guy
the
who's
same
rich.
point could be applied to him with money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But like I'm more like his thing is more against like just like superheroes, because he doesn't like superheroes. He doesn't like the Avengers. He doesn't like supervillains. He's more just like, why can't we all just be like normal people and kill each other instead? You know?
Yeah.
Because there's this kind of like escalation to things when you have all these superpowered people around.
Oh, and I really like when does he try it? Frick. He tries the words again when Bucky comes in.
Oh yeah. Well,
I
he
really
does that in like the
I really
cell.
like that he still tried that, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't think it would work, but it's worth a try.
What is it, Mama Dolly or something? Mama, like what was it called? The Donna.
I don't remember.
Whatever that her name was. Well, this character that was pretty much a throwaway character that's supposed to give us some kind of sympathy, maybe, or like help us understand what her purpose is, like why the Flag Smashers exist. It doesn't help. it doesn't help at all because why would we care about this person? You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand why they tried to do that, but it just didn't work.
I like when they're writing into
Madripoor.
what's that? Madripoor?
Madripoor is
That
such a
was really
cool
cool.
place that they made.
Yeah, it is. And Zemo says some. I remember. It's funny because Zemo's a Nazi, right? And Nazis don't like black people. Black people are
I
African.
wouldn't say he's a Nazi.
He is in the comics.
Yeah, he's not a Nazi in this though. He's a Sokovian.
But they kind of hint at it because he's like, oh, the Afro music.
Well, I don't even think it's like
Or
him
whatever.
being like Nazi-esque. I think it's him being so like aristocratian. That's not the right word, but like yeah, you know what I mean?
I took it as him being that way, but that does make sense. I get what you're saying. It'd probably be best not to make him a Nazi, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I'd fear for his actor. Ooh. Yeah, no, but like we were saying though, he had that one scene where he's like, only an American would yeah.
Character. Our lives depend on it. There's no margin for error.
Or was it before? I do like them
only
like
American
going
would be.
over.
Fashion forward black man.
Yeah, fashion forward black man looks like a pimp. Only American would.
But we have to do something about this. I'm the only one who looks like a pimp.
Only an American would assume a fashion forward black man looks like a pimp. They look exactly like the man you're supposed to.
Yo, that's kind of like facts though. Like Americans always think of like stuff as being like they don't like a lot of time Americans like to think that they know what they're talking about, like about us in third person, I guess.
But also at the same time, other countries are not that much better, even though they act like it.
Well, they act like it, but they're not that much better. But there's this
Like-
kind of like
They make like not trying to bring up anything against any other countries, but like some countries still make monkey noises whenever an African American player kicks or like does something on a football thing, you know?
yeah.
I say football, soccer.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of like stuff like that going on.
So it's not like they're any better.
Yeah,
which I'm not. It's still wrong, you know. But
yeah, but it's just I think it's kind of like a good play on how like Americans see things.
that's true.
Yeah, but like they're going undercover, which is very cool. They go in there. There's that whole snake thing, which is gross.
That was really cool. I like Sam Wilson.
Smiling tiger. I like how he still pretends to be the Winter Soldier in the scene.
Yeah, that was cool.
Let me say this. Who's this? I'm gonna wait for it to look at this person.
You know, I didn't realize how smart Sam was.
Yeah, no, he's really smart.
Yeah, I never realized that until this series. Like, it's just awesome seeing him, like,
Well, he's
fix
not
stuff
smart enough
and-
to turn his phone off, but
yeah, but, like, you know what I mean.
And he's not smart enough to realize when someone's a terrorist.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. So this person was not even a character for like 5 minutes.
I thought that was the power broker.
No, I forgot like what their name was, but they kill her. Like, she dies. They straight up kill her.
Oh, Sharon Carter, right?
Yeah, she
Comes
shows
in.
up. Who?
She should not be the power broker. I'm sorry. That's
yeah,
stupid.
I know. Yeah, I agree. Like you want to explain to me like so she didn't disappear in the blip then, right? It's still such a
I guess
stupid name
not.
for it. Because that's the only way that would explain her being able to do that. But even then, she just shows up in Madripoor and takes over. Like what? I mean, that doesn't really make sense, but she shows up. It's very weird. Sorry, buddy. It's very weird because she just kind of shows up out of nowhere. Like, you weren't expecting to see her. And she knows what's going on. you know, but like, yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, really looking at it, it makes her, you know, quite devious, knowing that she's a power broker.
Yeah.
And yeah, this like kind of scene where it's just them like going through like a dance thing, and they have the Zemo meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she goes on like a big thing and kills a bunch of people. Like she has a really good scene where she like kills a bunch of people.
So does Zemo.
Well, Zemo and her both have really good scenes. My thing is this though: if those are bounty hunters sent by the power broker, yeah, were they sent by the power broker?
They were sent by her then.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they were sent by the power broker, because if they were, then they were sent by her, and so she just killed a bunch of her own people that she sent after herself. You find out how they got the super soldier serum.
And then he kills the guy.
Yeah. Zemo kills him, which I expected Zemo to do that, because he was kind of like fading in the background, doing some shady stuff, which he likes to do a lot.
What else happened?
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about how they got the super soldier serum, or you just want to like skip on by that?
I mean, yeah, skip it. Just because it doesn't really.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zemo has this cool scene. Bucky and Sam are still yelling at each other while in a gunfight.
Did you know this, William? Like, I didn't know.
No,
Captain America was the first project, and so you know how Wolverine is Weapon X?
Yeah.
Captain America was Weapon 1.
Really? I didn't know
Yep. And Man-Thing is like Weapon 5 or something, Weapon 5 or 6.
that. Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that either. So there's been a lot of different weapons, huh?
And also, I looked up Bucky is enhanced with a formula. It's called the Infinity Formula. And it basically leaves you in peak physical condition. If you reach like the highest condition you get to, it leaves you in that condition, but your mind can still deteriorate. And Nick Fury uses that formula too. I don't know if he uses it in the MCU, but
well, I mean, it makes
just thought
sense.
I should note that.
Because like a lot of time they talk about how Bucky's a super soldier, but they don't really talk about how he was a super soldier. He was. So, and then you have Carly Morgenthau being Carly Morgenthau.
Is this the conversation, or is this where she blows up stuff?
Well, she talks about, oh, I could have been a teacher. Like, they're trying to get you to feel sympathy for her, but then literally later in the episode... well, actually, no, it's...
Oh, the Wakandans.
The
The Wakandans.
show up. That was cool. I didn't expect him to be in the show, but it makes sense because of Zemo.
That does make sense.
They probably, honestly, might have had, like, T'Challa in it, but... rest in peace.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Well, one of the movies they're doing that they released on that teaser thing was Wakanda Forever. It's gonna be a movie, or maybe a series, something like that. So it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, Bucky is showing how he got unbrainwashed, which I think was a good scene. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so I got you still there.
I thought you were gonna keep on talking.
No, I was still waiting for your opinion, you know, whatever.
That was pretty cool, actually.
And they call him the White Wolf. And basically he's like, hey, give me a couple of more hours with Zemo, and then you can have him. You know, they had a really interesting scene here where they talked about what the serum does to you. It just makes you more of yourself. And then
I
they
mean,
talk about how
I think
good of a
that's just
person
a.
Steve is.
I think that's just an expression. I don't think that's actually true.
No, I think it does make you more of yourself, but I think it juices you up too, though. Like,
I
it
think
makes you
that's just the
roar your own
expression. That's how I
shit.
interpreted it. Because like you could say that about anything.
Well, that's the
Like you've
reason
heard
why
like
like Steve was chosen in the first place to be.
money makes you more of yourself. You could also say that too. You could become more greedy. You could become more like you could just become a terrible person with money, or you could like I don't know, like help people out with your money. It just you know what I mean. That's how I interpreted it.
But I feel like it has like a direct effect, where it's like, it does like strengthen your emotions or brings out more of your. It makes you more of yourself. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
really think it does. Like with the whole they have this conversation twice. They have it with Bucky, Sam, and Zemo, and then they have it with Battlestar and John Walker. And then Lamar is like, "Yeah, dude, you would take it. Yeah, it'd be good because you've always made the right decisions. This and that." And so I think that might have like goaded him into taking it, that conversation with Lamar.
yeah.
Um,
And it's awesome in this scene. When the Wakandans do show up and kick butt. Oh no,
no,
that doesn't happen yet.
that's
That
next
happens
episode.
after bunch
I
of
don't know what
random
the
stuff happens. They talk to the teachers, they find out what the organization's about a little bit. And then John Walker shows up and basically is like, okay, let's get this done.
yeah, they have this awful scene, garbage scene.
And you can see how John Walker is just really impatient. Like he just wants to get done with, he wants
He
to.
wants to because he's getting pressured. Because he has the
Yeah,
pressure of Captain America. He's the way. That's like replacing Tom Brady as the quarterback for the Patriots. It's hard to do. The legacy is there. You know? Like,
yeah.
yeah. It's hard to, do that.
That's actually a pretty good.
Because, I mean, it's like
Yeah, like that makes a lot of sense.
it's hard to replace a legend,
That's true.
Hard to replace the greatest of all time. It's hard to replace the best QB ever to wield a football. It's hard to
Wield of football.
yeah. So he's overzealous. John Walker is just getting really impatient because the situation's getting worse. The government's on his back, and the world is expecting him to solve the situation already.
I like how they use Sam's ability to talk to people because he's always had that ability. Remember, he was
Yeah.
he helped people with PTSD. I like how they used his ability to like talk to people to try to get Carly to turn good. Of course, she probably was not going to turn good and not going to stop.
I mean, like Zemo was saying, she was already radicalized, and it was too late for her. The thing was, Sam did have the ability, like you were saying, to talk to people and this and that, but it was just too late for this person in particular. And like I was saying, he couldn't tell that it was already too late.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's just Sam's character in general, which is it's really awesome. Like he has so much faith in people.
Yeah. Yeah. But that ends up like jeopardizing his family and causes ultimately because of that, John Walker ends up going psycho in the next episode
Yeah.
because of him, because he's the one that told Carly about his family, trying to connect to her, and all this stuff. But I mean, John Walker does kind of mess up the conversation though. Like he comes in and like tries to fight her, like arrests her.
What else happens in this episode? He gets the serum, doesn't take it.
Zemo pulls he's pretty cool in what he does. Catches Carly, and he's like, "Is this what I think it is?" and then just starts stomping them. That was cool. I liked that a lot.
That was cool.
You know, these super soldiers are pretty weak to guns, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know Captain America wasn't bulletproof, but like he
He seemed that way.
yeah, he was just smarter, I guess. And
I mean,
he
his
had the
shield-
shield, yeah.
His shield did a lot.
Yeah, but I think he was also just smarter. And then he gets knocked out. Yeah, look at that face and that cap, bro. He kind of does look pretty weird with that. Yeah, so he has that. Carly, because they have no more, they don't have the ability to make any more. Super Soldiers kind of goes even down, like it goes down an even darker path.
Yes.
Then you have the Wakandans show up and whoop everyone.
Yeah, and just take Bucky's.
Yeah,
arm
you know,
off.
that's pretty messed up though. I know some people were talking about this, but like, they put in a thing to where they can take off his arm like that. They put in basically a fail safe because they don't trust him enough.
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up.
And John Walker's like, they were just normal people.
Well,
They were just normal people.
They're really not just normal people, though, to be honest.
I know.
And John Walker, this also pushes him to go even further. Like and then the situation where he talks with Battlestar, and then it just pushes him to take it. So he takes it. Carly threatens Sam's family. Which was just kind of like one of those things that she did, where it's like, how could you still say, how could you still be? Sorry, I'm yawning again. I woke up early today. How can you say that she's still sympathetic? Like, how can you still be sympathetic to her when she's threatening innocent people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like especially your family.
And Sam's ultimately still sympathetic with her too. And you see John Walker, you could tell that he had taken the serum. He never said it.
Oh my
you
gosh.
could tell because all the stuff he was hitting people, throwing the shield harder.
Yeah, he threw it into a stone wall.
And then unfortunately, Lamar.
This hurt my heart so much when I saw Lamar get punched.
It was Carly who did it, right?
Yeah, that just I was like,
This scene was brutal, man.
it was brutal, but it was necessary.
It was necessary. Honestly, you could have just smacked his head once and then knocked him out, and then they could have taken him in for questioning.
I mean, but he wasn't in his right state of mind because his best friend just died.
Yeah.
Imagine watching your best friend get killed right in front of you.
And then these guys show up and they're like, "Yo, what just happened?" But you kind of knew that he was screwed up to that point because they got that all on film, and
And then you get the awesome scene where he's just standing there with the blood on his shield,
the blood on his shield,
which is awesome. And I don't care. I really wanted Carly to die, and I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
But I wanted John to kill her.
What was really cool in this episode was the first 5 minutes. This fight.
Yeah, but I didn't like how they broke his arm. They definitely
Falcon, jumped
Falcon
him.
definitely would not have been able to do anything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah. He ripped off Falcon's arms. I mean, John Walker was trying to kill them because they were trying to take the shield from him.
Yeah, Bucky was nerfed for sure.
Oh, he was.
He's just been nerfed this whole series because in the Winter Soldier he was insane. You know.
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. So we were on
The first fight scene.
the first fight scene. Yes. So I mean, this fight scene is really cool. They definitely nerfed Bucky, like you said, because they wanted to get each of them fighting him individually for a second. Then ultimately they beat John Walker and then leave him knocked out with a broken arm.
And take the shield.
Take the shield, yeah. And then there's this whole... Let's see, they're talking about the shield. The guy's talking about his Falcon wings, decides to leave his wings. John Walker has his court hearing, which was...
He gets dishonorably discharged.
That, and I was like, bro, like, that's... They took away all his benefits. They took away everything. Everything is gone.
That really does suck.
I was like, bro, at least let him keep all that stuff. Like, just...
Yeah, like the government randomly gives benefits to like so many people. You know what I mean? Just let them
Yeah.
keep it.
I mean, I was tough. Because he didn't get
And my-
any, like, pay for the... Like, his pension's gone, too. I think, because of that, too.
That's true.
So he's...
You know, I would be interested in making a video of how John Walker is a tragic hero. If you'd be interested in it.
I'd be interested in doing that, too.
Alright. I don't know how long it would be. But
Yeah, I mean, we can figure it out.
I feel like I could talk about John Walker for a while.
Yeah, we could make like a video on John Walker by himself.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, you know, we were recording for the Falcon Winter Soldier review real quick, but I was saying, you know, we could do character reviews too, like character videos.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, they screw over my boy John Walker.
I heard the actor was actually getting death threats for his...
That usually happens to a lot of people. Like,
I play bad guys.
yeah,
Really?
like if you probably haven't seen Game of Thrones, right?
No.
But well,
Is it called A Game of Thrones or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones?
I thought the book was called A Game of Thrones.
Well, I think the book is there's like multiple books and they're all different titles and stuff like that. But the series,
Well, I thought the first book was called A Game of Thrones.
it maybe is. I don't really know anything about the books. I just know that J.R.R. Martin, the writer of this, was like, "Hey, Tolkien, you got some good stuff. Let me just you know, make my own story from it." But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good series on HBO. I would recommend watching it, but it's explicit. Can you handle the explicitness?
I don't know.
I don't know. But there's this one kid. Kid. His name is Joffrey. He is...
Oh, is he the prince guy?
He's the prince guy that everyone hates. And basically, the role, you know, made him, like, quit acting.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was
Why?
just like, well, he got typecasted, and then also, you know, a lot of people hated him because of his character. And, you know, if you see the videos of him, he's a nice guy.
He got typecasted. What does that mean?
It's like, you play only a certain kind of character. So it's like,
Not
Daniel
he's like a two-dimensional
Radcliffe.
character.
Like, right, Daniel Radcliffe, could you really, when you see him, you're going to think Harry Potter. You see Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
you're going to think Spider-Man. You think, I mean, you see, Steve Rogers. No, you see Chris Evans. You think Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
There's like a certain kind of character that they're going to play. Like Harrison
Well, actually,
Ford
I think
always
Human
plays
Torch.
like a.
I'm just kidding.
Like Harrison Ford always plays the same kind of character.
Yeah. Harrison Ford hates that everybody's like, oh, Han Solo, Han Solo, Han Solo.
Indiana Jones is pretty sick.
It is.
Yeah.
He has such good movies. Like, what the heck? Like, how did someone get so lucky with those kinds of movies?
Right time, right people, networking.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean when you work with Steven Spielberg, you usually get the good roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yes, like a character, like it's when like a typecasting is when a actor gets like pretty much locked into a certain category of character that they have to that everyone expects them to play. So like Adam Sandler, you're always thinking that his character is always going to be a goofball, right?
Yeah.
So it's either like you're stuck as a certain character or like a character that's like a type of character.
That makes sense. Okay.
So like that guy got typecasted. But
John Walker?
no, the kid from the guy from Game of Thrones. But we got
Oh, I
to
see.
yeah. How did we get there?
I don't know.
I don't know. But we meet this new character named Vicky. Right, Vicky? Was it Vicky? No,
Seinfeld.
Valerie. Valerie. It was Valerie, right? Not Vicky. Right?
Yeah, something. She's Lady Hydra, which is just like a obscure character, right?
Yeah, Lady Hydra. So what I think what this means is that she's going to reintroduce Hydra again,
Or be like
it's kind of trash actually because
a
we've
Nick
had
Fury
Hydra
for like
so
a bad.
much.
Sorry, it could be like a bad guy, or Nick Fury for a bad guy team. Does that make sense?
I hope she's not like Lady Hydra though. Even though she's Lady Hydra, I hope because I don't want Hydra to be here anymore because we've already dealt with it so much.
I get that.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah, you should come work for me. Carly's, doing stupid stuff. Zemo is there, ready to pretty much turn himself in. Bucky doesn't kill Zemo. Wakandans take Zemo.
That was pretty cool.
My thing was this, right? In the next episode, the last one, you find out that Zemo is in like this prison. That's not a Wakanda
Raft.
prison, is it?
I know.
I was like,
it's not a.
how did he get there?
I think it actually. The raft might be owned by the Wakandans, actually.
He's got a lot of modern conveniences in there. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. But yeah. So Sam decides to go meet Isaiah, and this is when it's just like a big cultural shift. Well, I don't know culture, but like a shift in like the story, because it's all about him being black now.
Yeah.
Like from this point forward, it's like it
Which is-
matters what race you are.
I mean, culture does have effect on what type of person you become. I'm not done, but I don't think it's the biggest effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Isaiah, like, you hear Isaiah's, like, pretty much speech about everything, and, it makes sense. I like Isaiah's portrayal. I like how he's acting. I understand how he's acting. Sam, on the other hand, I understand, it's not easy being a
He just looks like a confused little puppy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy being a black man. I understand that. But what would that have to do with being
With
Captain America?
It's not easy being a superhero. It's not like there's so many tropes that played on. Like it doesn't have to.
Like I understand, there's the whole race aspect of it on everything, but I don't think realistically now. There of course is gonna be some like people that are like, oh, I don't want a black Captain America, that kind of thing going on there. But like realistically, I think most of the world and of America would not give a crap. We would
Agreed.
not care. I would not care.
I don't care who's saving me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I don't care who Captain America is. Just be Captain America, bro. As long as Captain America isn't like doing what John Walker did, I'm fine.
Yeah, for sure.
It would have just imploded. Like this whole race part would have just imploded on itself if John Walker was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if Battlestar was the next Captain America, huh? Nah, it's just like
Well, it's
they focus like they made a mountain out of a molehill in this situation. I think I understand the importance of race as an aspect.
Understand Isaiah's point.
I understand
100%.
Isaiah's point. Yeah, I understand 100%.
Like he
the Falcons
has every right to think that way, but like
Isaiah does
Falcon's
have
just
every right
like,
to think
huh?
that. Falcon, I don't really know like what his deal is. Like literally no superhero like official or anything was like saying, "Oh, you can't be black as a superhero." I mean, Nick Fury was the director of Shield. I mean, my whole thing is just like, I mean, like I said prior, they're just, no one cares if you're black in Captain America.
Well, most people don't.
Most people, of course, most people. Like I said, there are those people that are like, I don't want a black America to, that stuff. But they do have an interesting conversation here.
Yeah, but
Full of emotion. It's a pretty good scene, I would say.
I would say that as well. Except Sam he doesn't keep up. You know, like the level of acting is just so like. The guy who plays Isaiah Bradley is just so like.
He does such a good job.
You can like. It's just so hard to compete that.
It feels real, like when you see him talk.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the whole.
And then they start fixing up the boat.
You have the whole like montage of Sam with his sister's family, which is kind of just like, eh.
Okay, Bucky and Sam's sister. That's so stupid.
It's like they flirt once and that's about it.
Oh my gosh, that felt so forced too.
I don't know, this whole aspect of the story, like Sam's family side and how the people are helping build the boat and this and that. It's just really not that. It feels like it's just taking time away from like.
That does feel. It feels weird.
Cause like they spend so much time at just about that. Oh yeah, then you have John Walker visiting Lamar's family.
Gosh, this was such a sad thing because he's like, yes, I killed the person, but he didn't kill the person. You know.
Yeah.
He just wanted to try to provide the family with like some relief. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he thought that he killed the person, right?
Yeah. No, he didn't. He was just saying that to try to provide him relief. And then it's so you see how like important John Walker was in Lamar's life here.
Yeah, because the mom would talk about how Lamar would always say stuff about John Walker.
Yeah, and also how like you know you got to know a person to go over to their family's house, you know, and be welcome.
Yeah. Then we have this. Like this is when you start realizing like what you like who the
Oh,
Power Breaker
is that a
Group is.
Monet?
Yeah, it's the Monet. Yeah, it showed Sharon. Yeah, Batroc was speaking with her. Yeah, then you had Sam, and Bucky working on the boat again. Someone brought up an interesting thing. You know how like they're just throwing around the shield, right?
Yeah.
This feels like it happens. I feel like this should happen after the whole training montage of him, because
Yeah.
they're just throwing it around super easily, like it's nothing. And then when he's doing the training montage, he's just like kind of bad until he gets good.
That would make sense, like, because they do seem pretty good with the shield.
Yeah, they're just like tossing it to each other. Yeah, but like the whole conversation between like Steve and Bucky about the importance of the shield. If they didn't make it a race thing, I think it would have been more advantageous to make it about being compared to Steve Rogers.
I totally agree. The montage of him working out is actually really cool.
Yeah. He's talking to his sister, and his sister's basically like, why would you let what Isaiah said affect your decision at all?
Yeah, like you should
Do what you want to do. And he's doing
and then he gets his new wings and new suit.
well, you don't see it this episode, but like but you know about it, and then you see this like the Flag
Oh yeah, and
Smashers.
then they plan to stop the
Like the Flag Smashers are going
thing.
full terrorist mode. They're lining with criminals. They're doing all this and that. Like it's the whole GRC subplot about like the repositioning of these people is kind of
There's
interesting, but
really
it's
no right answer. Well, I'm sorry.
yeah, there's no right answer to that.
And then I'm just gonna speed up the last episode just because it was a bunch of like, nah, you know.
The fight scenes weren't really that.
So
that
the
good.
fight scenes were not the best. John Walker redeems himself towards the end, and you get to see John Walker's shield he made that has I think it's either his or Lamar's
I think
Medal of Honor in
Falcon's
it.
suit looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
Like yeah, I think his yeah, that's like
The
straight from
physics in
comics
this episode
too, right?
make no sense. I'm not sure.
But it
The
anyways,
physics
it
in this
looks cool.
episode do not make any sense. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Like Bucky or Falcon holds something up with his wings, or covers himself with his wings and to block like a car or something. I can't remember, but all that force is being exerted on the body still because the wings are attached to you and you just die.
And Bucky, I don't know why they did this, but Bucky was talking to Carly over the phone. Like, that didn't really
Yeah, that
make
was
any
weird.
sense. You know, Sharon's helping. Batroc is, whatever his name is just whooping Captain America. Like, he's just, I mean, if you're Captain America, I feel like you should be, a little better.
Agreed.
Like, he's not, like, taking any damage, and then he books it because he's like, oh, he's just distracting me.
And then the helicopter, they gotta save them.
Yeah.
John Walker saves the boss instead of taking revenge. Okay, something I have a problem with is the super soldier serum. Talking about another flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Women should still be... They still should not have the same strength as men. Like, the men who have the super soldier serum should be stronger than the women that have the super soldier serum.
Well, yeah,
because what the super
enchants.
soldier serum does is it enhances the strength of...
It doesn't set it to a certain value.
Yeah, it's...
And to
puts
be
you in
honest,
physical condition,
and
men
all
have
the
a higher
women
peak than women.
that are flag smashers are not physically like they don't have like big muscles or anything. It's not like they're gonna be like. I mean, like every flag smasher is kind of small actually. So
yeah, that is true.
when you think about it, well, they do kind of show like how like you give superpower, like you give the serum to like people like John Walker who are trained and stuff, that they can take on 3 of them at once because they're not trained. They're not really that strong compared to someone who's like works out and then would get the serum.
I don't understand this plot where Carly tries to save people, or does she not try to save them?
Well, no,
I'm
she sees
confused
the
about
people burning, and I think she wants to. Well, no, she's trying to get to the vehicle so that she could. I think like use them as leverage or something for the GRC.
that. Yeah, and
Well, then she just tries to kill them. So like I don't even know. Another scene that like it didn't really make much sense. We have the power broker scene real quick, which was interesting. She reveals herself.
I hated that. And then she killed Spadrock.
Yeah, and then
He was so cool. He
lets
should have
Carly
stayed.
shoot her. She lets Carly shoot her. Like if anything, you probably should have killed Carly first. He's
For
like,
sure.
you're gonna pay me 4 times the amount. And so instead of paying this guy 4 times the amount, or just literally waiting to kill him afterwards, she lets herself get shot. And Carly doesn't even say that she's the power broker to Sam. Like, doesn't say, hey, Sharon's the power broker.
And then all of a sudden Falcon thinks he's like the freaking genius of the world and can solve all the world's problems. And I just zoned out at this point because I'm like, dude, this is a more complicated issue than just having one right answer.
Well, yeah, basically, his solution, he doesn't even bring up solution. Basically, he just says, hey, this is a hard decision. Good. Now you know what it's like to be the rest of us. It's like, that's not helping. You just berated all these people. Like, I get it, you know, you have to look at different perspectives, like the perspective of the terrorists and know why they're doing it. But they're still terrorists. You know, they're literally killing innocent people, civilians. They're blowing up stuff. They're terrorists. Why are you condoning this?
Falcon bringing Carly down is not a powerful scene. I feel like that would be a bad image.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh my gosh, I am big brain, and explains everything. But it's like he doesn't explain anything. But it is really cool when the guard comes up and he's like, okay, Captain America, I think blah, blah, blah is still out there. And I thought that was a really cool part.
That was cool. And Shannon is going to get, what's it called?
Back into S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have the last remaining super soldiers get blown up and killed.
By Zemo's butler.
Yep.
My friend was wondering who that was, and it was Zemo's butler.
Then you have Val.
Oh, and the new costume looks amazing.
Let me see if I can get a good look at this. I like the color better.
I do too.
I like getting the stars basically taken away too, so it's not like Captain America. It's a real U.S. agent looking, you know.
I wish they just had the shield, you know.
Yeah. They gave him like an aluminum one, basically. And then you have this resolved, which I thought this was gonna be a bigger plot point in the series.
I wish that would have been the resolve between the guy that Bucky killed his son.
Yeah, but it ultimately wasn't like that big of a deal. And then he decides to, I guess, I don't know what Bucky's doing anymore. Isaiah's more uppity now. He's like, "Oh, you're an inspiration."
And then he gets into the thing that was really cool, the Captain America Museum.
Yeah. My thing was, I don't know how he did that, because literally they were burying.
I mean, he's kind of Captain America. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but it's not even like that. It's like the government buried his existence, right? So how are you gonna put him in a museum?
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it. He must have pulled some strings, I guess. Like, I don't know what he was doing.
But that was really cool. I still say a 6 out of 10. It was good to watch, but also not the most exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, so ultimately, I would say it was... I'm going to keep it at an 8 out of 10.
That's fair.
I think...
You do tend to be more optimistic than me.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I tend to not like plot points that go overlooked and stuff, and like physics. If physics don't make sense in any of these, but if they deliberately don't make sense, it aggravates me. You know, because like, of course, you're stretching the truth.
Yeah.
But you're stretching it too much, if that makes sense.
I understand that. So, I mean, I think that's all we have, huh?
Question of the day: what was your favorite part? Who was your favorite character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
You want to answer the question, and then I'll answer the question.
Mine was John Walker.
Mine was Zemo. I
Zemo,
really like
yeah.
me some Zemo.
Both very good characters.
So, that's all we have
All
for you
right.
guys today.
Have a great rest of your day.
See you guys next time.